It is the day before my breast reconstructive surgery on Wednesday, August the 20th. I feel very nervous. In fact, this is the scariest I've ever been in my entire lifetime. But it's one of those things that I just have to get through. I don't really want to do it, but I have to do it. And sometimes there are times that we have to do something that absolutely terrifies us. I guess part of my fright is I asked the nurse at the surgery center, how long will my surgery take? Thinking that it's probably going to be no more than 2 hours. They're just going to cut me open, take out the ruptured mastectomy implants, stuff in new ones, do the breast lift, and I would be out of there in maybe 2 hours. So the nurse in the surgery center said, well, you have an hour and a half of pre-surgery preparation. Then the actual surgery is 6 hours long. 6 hours that they will be cutting on me, and that I will be cut open and worked on for 6 straight hours. That just terrified me. I'm telling you, I should stop asking questions and just be ignorant to everything that's going to happen. And then they said I will have 2 to 4 hours of recovery time. So I'm ready, but I'm not ready. I've sort of been in this state of every couple of hours changing from hyperventilating because I'm so nervous and anxious and afraid, to just surrendering and saying, you know what, there's nothing I can do. I have to go through this whether I want to do it or not. And I've always believed, even though there are surgery risks, you can bleed to death during surgery, you can have a heart attack, you can have complications from anesthesia. That is so difficult to say. But I have always believed that when it's your time, it is your time. Really, there is nothing that we can do. If it's our time, then it's our time to go. So in that case, if I was to go, what I would want y'all to know about me is, truly, when I say that I've been celibate for 17 years, I have. And that is because I am such a delicate spirit that I always felt like I could never be intimate with a person that I did not have a soul connection with. Now, I know all of you have seen my fantasy people. At one time, I said that there are 3 men that are my fantasy love triangle. I said that that was Zach Bagans, Elon Musk, and Eduardo Verastegui. Really, those 3 men have qualities that are all very different from each other, but there is some quality about them that I just loved, really, truly, that I connected with. And I find it funny that I have 6.5K followers on my Facebook page. 6.3 of those 6.3K are men. And do you know that there are men and individuals who are actually jealous of my fantasy crushes? Now that is so silly because it's nothing more than fantasy crushes. It's not real. I I think fantasies are so important in our life. I think that fantasies carry us through stress. Um, truly, truly, I wouldn't even have a crush if I didn't see something in each one of those men. And they are very different. For instance, I love space. I've always loved the universe and space. So Elon Musk falls in that category. Also, I identify with the things that Elon Musk went through in his childhood. I love his accent. I used to love when he always made jokes and he was very jocular, very, very jovial. Sorry. I'm very tired. If you just knew the kind of fatigue that I have today. I've been trying to get everything ready, packing my bags for the hospital. I went out to dinner or lunch with my brother. And before I start surgery, they have me taking some of my medications. One of those includes a muscle relaxer. I am a person who takes 0 medications. They want me to take 4 500 milligram muscle relaxers before my surgery day. I can only take 2. So when me and my brother went to go eat, I felt like I could barely walk. I mean, really, truly, I was having trouble walking. And so we ate, and then he just took me back home. But the whole day has been packing things, getting things ready. You know that I have the baby possum. So all week long, I had to concentrate on showing the baby possum how to eat solid foods if I cut it up very small, because for at least 24 hours, I will not be home. I will not be able to bottle feed or syringe feed the baby possum. So I had to kind of force it to learn to eat some solid food. I have to prepare my dogs. There's so many things that you have to do. I wanted to tell you that the reason that I've always been attracted to Zach Bagans is I think that he is one of the most wonderful producers. I've always highly thought of him as a great producer, a very wise businessman. I've always thought he's very handsome. I love the paranormal. In fact, in my own life, my paranormal work is so important to me that I wish that I actually had my own facility to do paranormal research for the rest of my life. So, Eduardo Verastegui is very handsome. I love that he is also celibate, that he made that choice in his life. I love that he is very spiritual. So if I've ever picked a partner, or if I've ever fantasized or had a celebrity crush, it's not just the way that they look. It is something wonderful about their personality, something that clicks with my soul. So I found it very unusual that someone would be jealous of one of those celebrity crushes, especially since that person has a lifestyle where they have many, many women in their life. So I found it unusual that their women in their life are actually real people. There's no reason to be jealous of a fantasy crush that is not reality. But men will be men, and so I have found that when I post things on my social media pages, I do sometimes have opposition from the men on my page who may have slight crushes on me, who do get upset. I wanted to tell you that I probably won't have time to make another video. But there were several people in my life at this time that in the last month or 2 months that I probably contacted you. And I may have told you a lot about how I felt about you, how much you meant to me. I never make up things. If I said it, I really meant it. If I died during this surgery, I would want you to always remember everything that I said to you as the most genuine thing that could ever come from a pure soul. Really, I meant it. I am so terrified, literally terrified. My sister is going to drive me to the surgery center. She has had back surgery and is taking physical therapy right now. So actually, she said that she felt really, really bad that she's not going to be able to sit for like 10 hours for me to get out of surgery. And I told her I don't blame her, that if it was the opposite, I couldn't sit for 10 hours either. So I told her it's okay to drop me off, go home and take care of herself, and when they call her, just drive back up there to pick me up. Also, my sister's son, my nephew, is having his second baby, and that baby is due any day now, any minute. So it's very possible that while I'm having my surgery, the baby could be born. So there's so much going on right now. But wish me well. If you know me and you have heard from me and you know how much that I care for you, think about me on Wednesday while I'm in surgery. Say a little prayer for me. So, I'm not ready for it. And I was actually going to try my very best to come home straight after the surgery. And I was just going to stay by myself, which is something that I've done my entire life. I've always sort of been in this survive or die and take care of myself mode my entire lifetime. And I rarely, if ever, depend on anyone. But with all the things that are happening, knowing my sister is in her own distress, that we have a baby coming into the family any day now, that my surgery is quite severe in the way that they will be cutting open my chest and my muscles. So my sister did talk me into staying the first 24 hours with her at her house. She is a registered nurse. She wants to monitor me the first 24 hours. So I made arrangements that someone will come by to feed my dogs in the 24 hours. I'll put a lot of food in Chazzy the possum's cage. My guinea pig will have food in her cage. So everybody is going to be fine. I also gave people instructions on what to do if something should go wrong in my surgery. But it'll probably be at least a couple of days before you hear from me. Hopefully I'm going to come through this surgery. Everything is going to be fine. And I can put that behind me. So anyway, y'all have a good night. Like I said, wish me well for my surgery on Wednesday. I will be in continuous surgery for 6 hours. That's a lot. it seems like a very strenuous thing for my body, but I'm just going to have to deal with it and get through it. So, for everybody who has wished me well already, for all my followers, thank you so much for being a part of my life, for following me. It really meant a lot to me. Good night.